Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know, I say this all the time, but I guess it bears repeating, especially in today's episode. Now, I've been watching this show since high school. Since I was in high school, right? Like, it. I'm not gonna be on some goofy shit and be like, this is a show that has been ingrained in my life in a sense, but it kind of has, you know. It's weird that they're watching a show in a sense, but you watch a show, you watch them grow, you watch them age, and you watch them kind of grow into these characters. And you kind of grow along with the show in a sense, right? And ever since I've been doing this channel for about, I'm going to sit there and say 6 years, General Hospital has just been a part of this channel, right? And the reason why I'm sitting there bringing all this up is because, now I watch the other soap operas, and usually I try to do at least 2 soap operas a day. And I feel like, at least in this episode, the only reason why I'm actually doing this review for this episode was because it's been a staple of the channel for so long. But if I was to sit there and look at it compared to some of the other soap operas, because there's times I'll do B&B, there's times I'll do Days, depending on how good it is. This is an episode that if this wasn't a staple in the channel, I don't know if I would wind up doing a review on it. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, this episode just seemed like it was just coasting. It was coasting like there was no tomorrow. And it wasn't so much like it was a bad episode, but it was kind of a boring episode, if we're gonna be honest. General Hospital has the fortune of being on for so long that they can get away with this. And I've been somewhat harsh on Beyond the Gates, and there is a reason for that. They don't have the ability to coast. I haven't been on that long. I thought let's talk a little bit about this episode. But I'm just gonna sit there and tell you right off rip. This episode you didn't need to watch. And I sit there and say it because there's people that don't watch every episode, skip episodes, take breaks. They decide if they read a synopsis, if they're gonna like it, and I can just tell you right off rip, within the first 3 minutes. No, you can totally skip it. Didn't really bring anything. Sunny did start the process of the operation. I kept looking at every doctor like, because now you know that Cipro knows. Because Natalia, who can't be trusted, just blabbed her mouth. Now he kind of, to be fair, he kind of already knew about the trip. He knew about the trip. He could have probably figured it out as far as the whole heart thing. I mean, you're going to a heart surgery. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going there just for a little checkup or whatever. Now he knows, and he has money, he has resources. Could have paid any one of those doctors. So I'm sitting there looking at the doctor. Hell, I looked at the damn nurse that actually walked in there. Brick was there for a little bit. It was kind of worried about Donna because Donna used Christina's phone to sit there and call. Now Sonny's like, yeah, I'm getting a shot or whatever. The conversation with Dante and Christina didn't really add up to much. The only thing that was of value in that sense was Alexis. Alexis came and Christina was sitting there talking about how grateful she was being there and being there for her family and trying to move forward and stuff like that and just, really counting her blessings, which is more of a motivation for Alexis to continue to keep doing the wrong things by enabling her daughter and not having her pay the consequences of her actions. But yes, it's more of, I got to sit there and keep paying her and make sure she doesn't go to jail because of blah, 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 and her reasons. Now, Lulu was not there asking, doing an interview with Lucas about his experience being adopted, right? The positives, the pros, the cons, and, Daddy Dearest pretty much kind of come back into his life, and how do you take that? Now, of course, this isn't just a piece for her article. This is more of a motivation or a test of should she sit there and tell them. And at the end, she's not there on her computer, she's not there writing this whole stuff about Brooklyn and everything. And while Brooklyn was not there talking to Cody, waiting with him, waiting with him because he got kicked in the ribs by, as Molly called it, the demon horse. Lucas comes. Lucas is not telling her about the interview that she wound up doing for her article, as far as adoption and stuff. Brooklyn gets pissed. Brooklyn comes over there and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Her job. I'm pretty sure you should probably be getting to your job at some point. She's like, "Well, what are you doing?" Well, she was interviewing her cousin about his experience being adopted. What are you doing? Like, you raced all the way over here for that? I mean, hell, she knows the truth, right? And your basuda of a husband who decided to use his power, decided to practically essentially blackmail her. So she ain't saying anything. You just want Petra at this point. Now, I would love when it comes out because I would love Anna to sit there and reprimand Chase for Smith using his position of power to blackmail somebody into not Smith there spilling the beans about his trifling ass wife. And I know people are going to sit there and say, but Anna's corrupt and Anna has done things. Yeah, I get that. That's cool. But I'm still cool with either Anna reprimanding him or Eternal Affairs reprimanding him. I don't care which one. I just want that to happen. Um, Cody was not there talking to Molly, more of that, as they say, chemistry test or whatever. Since who the hell knows when TJ is going to come back, if he's going to come back. And I would say if, because, hey, remember that guy who's been on the show before I was born? Baldwin, right? Oh, Scotty. Hell, I remember that because I saw a post from Instagram on Ken Schreiner, since they're talking about, and he did sit there and say in past tense, yeah, I played Scotty Baldwin. I played Scotty Baldwin on General Hospital. So, just saying. Molly is just concerned for Rick about being around Ava and bringing out the worst tendencies of Rick. Which, I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really take much. I mean, and to be fair, Rick had some trash ass tendencies way before he met Ava, but, again, doesn't happen. Now, after their little walk and taking him back into the hospital, Diane, well, oh, by the way, Marco got hired, so let's just kind of skip past that, because we all knew that was going to wind up happening. Marco also got accidentally the copy of Diane drawing up the papers to get Christina committed. I was like, nope, that's not for you, but I trust your discretion or whatever. Goes to the hospital, has some sort of legal thing with Sonny and Avery and taking her to the island and everything, and bumps into Molly, and their papers get mixed up, and towards the end of the episode, Molly's like, oh, what? Christina is people drawing up papers to have Christina committed? Yeah, so, she's all freaking out and everything. They also sat there and talked about Cody. We all know where this is going to go. It's just a matter, I mean, she was talking to Cody to Rick, and it's only a matter of time before that winds up happening. Um, I guess they don't have to worry about getting the divorce. I don't understand whatever their stupid marriage was, but I don't think they have to worry about getting a divorce. Didn't really seem like a real marriage, except for just a ceremony, so. Um, anyway, Danny's okay. So this is where the no drama comes in, but the drama kind of comes in a sense. Danny is still feeling lost because one, he misses his mom. Two, Rocco is living with Lulu, and Scout is living with Drew. Now, ultimately, you know, Sam, this is something that this is something that Danny said that Sam wanted all three of the kids to live together. And that was going to be impossible either way because even if Drew did let Scout live at the Quartermains and him come to visit or whatever the case was going to be, Lulu already made up her mind to sit there and move Rocco with her, saying that I missed all this time and blah, 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 blah. And I mean, just completely ignoring the fact that, like, why the hell isn't Dante was already living with Rocco. But now you want him to live with you because you need to sit there and play catch up, which is an impossible thing to do. Hell, here's an idea, Lulu. Instead of you just moving Rocco from the Quartermains to this house that you just got a job afterwards, did you ever think maybe you should just move in to the Quartermains? Hell, this is a mansion, right? You could be sitting there living there too. You and Tracy have a great relationship. I mean, the hell with Brooklyn for a minute. You could have moved in there. I'm just saying. Um, like I said, Brick was there, Sonny, Doctor, and yeah, well, I feel like that's actually about it. Hold on. And I guess the one thing that was really nice, in a sense, was Jason actually spent there spending time with Danny. You know, if you saw one of the promos or if you saw my reaction video, if you remember, one of the things that Steve said was that, for a while, Jason has been a pretty much deadbeat dad, right? So it's a nice change in the sense of him actually being there for Danny, as opposed to the trash ass behavior that he had before of, essentially putting Michael and Carly's kids above his own, which that never sat right with me. That to this day, that's never sat right with me. I understood that him and Michael had this connection, and that was kind of like his son in a sense. But you should have also been spending and looking out for your own kids more than Michael in a sense. Not to say you can't be there for your nephew, but that's always just sat that never sat right with me. So in a sense, I did like the fact that he was actually being a father to Danny. I mean, to be honest, it was about goddamn time if we're gonna be real. Now Jake, we'll see what happens when they get a replacement actor. Um, and of course, Dante gets there, and Danny and Rocco are hanging out, and they're all like, Sam would have wanted this, and that's cool. Um, I don't know. I think that's pretty much about it. That's like I said, this episode didn't really do much. I might have missed some stuff here or there, but like if you're watching soaps and you're watching all five of them, yeah, maybe you can do General Hospital last if we're gonna be real. Or just skip it all together and just watch my video, watch Brock TV's video, or watch one of our videos, or watch both of our videos. Um, anyway, if I missed anything, we'll sit there and talk about it tonight, as well as all the other five soap operas, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be streaming for about like an hour, since I do have to wake up at a very ungodlikely time in the morning, which is depressing as hell, but whatever. Anyway, I'll see you in tonight's live stream. Anything I missed, write in the comment section, or we'll talk about it tonight.